It's Sunday and it's Slot Car Fun Day. Sunday Fun Day. Sunday, Slot Car Fun Day. It is. It was a great week this week. I got all caught up on all my orders, which I've been behind on ever since I had been sick from the grandchildren, and then I had the grandchildren here visiting for a couple of weeks and Christmas and all that, but I'm all caught up, and so we're going to be back very soon to working on the Cooper T51, which is going to be a kit made available to you. We're going to be working on the T73, which is another one that I'm going to be offering, and I'm going to retool the mold, and that's going to be a body kit, and I may offer a frame with that as well. In addition to that, I have a whole bunch of stuff coming up I want to do. Tire barriers, which will be made out of latex. The latex that I use to make the mask. Now, some of you are familiar with my movie career. I worked in Hollywood special effects. I made monsters. I played monsters. I had an acting career. I worked on movies like Ghostbusters and Star Trek. I did Spock's ears, Aliens, all that kind of stuff. And I use almost every material that's conceivable except plutonium. We don't work with plutonium or anything else like that. But I do work with some pretty toxic stuff, but urethanes and urethanes, silicones, just you name it, I've worked with it. So I have the tech at my studio in Ventura to make anything. So why not slot cars? So why not slot car decorations for the track? I was thinking of a ticket booth. Definitely the car barriers made out of real latex, which will be tinted red, white, and black. I'm also going to be offering maybe an outhouse and things like that, but I'm not thinking of everything, and that's why I'm asking you now. If you have something you'd like to see made that doesn't exist or did exist at one time and you'd like to see available again, I might be able to do it. Now keep in mind, I make everything myself at my studio. Nothing goes overseas to be mass produced. I don't have money to put into bulk orders and that kind of stuff. I'm strictly a shop kit oriented guy when I make things at my studio in Ventura, and so that that's how it works. So sometimes it might be a little bit more money than the mass produced stuff from China and other places around the world. So just like it is when you buy something from Italy or Spain. You're going to pay more for it because those people are sitting there handcrafting those things. So that's how it works with me. I've got a list here which will help me stop going off course in this. And so for the first thing I want to do is stop saying and. I keep working on that, and it's really hard to break yourself of doing, but I digress. I wanted to talk to you about shows about slot cars and people I know I really like to watch, and you may be unaware of them, so I'm going to make you aware of them. Slot car news. Dave Kennedy, fabulous. In fact, I'm a subscriber to his Buy Me a Coffee because I think what he offers is so important and so informative because he's so connected with the actual industry and the business that he's usually the first guy to tell you what the latest thing is coming out next week or next month or later in the year. He goes into great detail about slot cars and the professional business aspect of it, as well as just having fun on the track and telling you what's good and what isn't. I highly recommend his show. He's also a lot of fun, and he tells good jokes, and he's funny. I like funny. We also have that slot car guy in Australia. You got to love his passion. He's very enthusiastic, and like Dave, and they are friends, and they sometimes are on the show together. He's very informative, gets sent lots of things by the various companies that produce slot car items, and he reviews them, shows them running on the track, and goes into a lot of detail. He has giveaways, and he's just a lot of fun, especially lately because now, rather than having Hunter the Huntsman, and some of you will know what I'm referring to as you hear this, he has Maggie, the magpie, as his garage studio shop mascot. And evidently the other day she made short work of Mr. Hunter the Huntsman. Come on, you know what Huntsmans are. Anyway, great show to watch. I would subscribe to that one and Slot Car News if I were you. Then we have Scale Car Garage. Scale Car Garage. How could I get that wrong? John's fantastic. He goes into incredible detail about how to make your own slot cars and how to work on your track and how to add things to it. And he shows all kinds of things that people send to him. He'll take car bodies that no longer exist, finding plastic kits, and he'll show you how to mold those and make slot car bodies of your very own. And I believe John does scratch building as well. But he's a very versatile and very entertaining and very informative host on this subject of slot cars. I can't go through the month without seeing one of his shows. He doesn't do them as often as some of us, but every time I watch one, I watch it all the way through. It's just great. He's a wonderful human being. And then last, there's someone that I recently started subscribing to is MP Slot Car Space. MP Slot Car Space. Another fine Canadian individual. Both John and him seem to really love hockey. He has a giveaway coming up. If you go to his channel, he's giving away a beautiful MP car. I think it's MP slot car, as a giveaway to draw attention and interest in his channel, which is a very good handle. He's very humorous, very funny. You've got to see his short video. I mean, it's real short. His girlfriend asked him, "Why don't you have any money?" You got to see it. I'm not going to give it away. It's really fun. So that's MP Slot Car Space. Terrific. So those are 4 people. There are many others. I mean, you know, they're all really good, but these are the ones I frequent the most, and these are the ones that are really connected with the industry and with the hobby very well, and with everybody else is out there. So they are like a gateway to everything else. So also, if you're looking for hobby supplies for slot cars, I highly recommend Slot Car Corner, Electric Dreams, and Professor Slot, and also Pendle in the UK. Incredible. I know I'm leaving out some of you, but those are really good ones. I was going to talk about the Osterio Lotus 38 today, and I've been working on this a bunch and working on the body. It's an incredible car. I'm showing you pictures now of it as I speak. But I was going to show some work on that today, but I'm going to be out of time to do that. So hopefully if you watch my other show, SNG Shorts, which has a variety of different subjects from the work I do at the studio, and sometimes I do them every day, and they're just short little 4-minute pieces that show you life around my studio, where Mary and I work on all our creative projects and endeavors there, which range from monsters, creatures, to starships, from Star Trek, you name it, because I've worked on all those things. I worked on Star Trek. I did Spock's ears for the first motion picture. I worked doing Klingons for the last motion picture. I've worked on Ghostbusters and all kinds of movies like that. So I cover those subjects as well as radio-controlled cars. When this one took up most of my week putting this together, but this thing is fabulous. I can't wait to take it to the track and run it. I've got a Ford GT Mark II coming up next, and you can see the pictures of it as I talk about it, that I'll be building. But as soon as those cars are built, these are been built so I can race at my local track. I will have the cars all tweaked and perfect. I'll go out there and test them, and so that's really cool too. So you can see that also in SNG Shorts. And I'm going to start a new show called Steve Neill Speaks. Now that title is something that Mary came up with. I mean, okay, that's their title that she came up with. But what it's about, and I'll encapsulate this, I'll make this very short. Because of my long career, starting back as early as 1970, 71 at the American Zoetrope with Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas, I started work in my film career. And here we are, 50-something years later, and I've worked on all these different movies and worked with people like Gene Roddenberry and Robert Wise, and some of you won't even know who these names are. Some of you will. I've worked with Christopher Walken, Margot Kidder, so many really talented actors in my time, and talented makeup people like John Chambers, who created the Planet of the Apes makeups for the original Planet of the Apes movies. Tom Berman, so many people. And I have stories about all of them and working with them. And one of my favorite stories to tell is about working with Oliver Reed. That was amazing. I'm lucky to be alive. Anyway, so you can watch these starting next week. We're going to do the first one starting with when I first took an interest in getting into the film business. But you know what? In all that time, I always loved slot cars. I always loved cars. I always had a sports car. I always pay attention to the races. It's in my blood, and that's why I'm wearing this t-shirt. Now, I've been wearing these t-shirts lately because of Dave Kennedy, who turned me on to blipchef.com. They have t-shirts, and they're silkscreen, they were printed, they're not the iron-on type. They're beautiful shirts, they're very reasonably done, and they have all different artists. One of them is going to be me pretty soon, because I'm doing a piece for them. And they put them in t-shirts, and it's all gearhead oriented, so that's why they call it Blip Shift, I guess. So, and of course, if you can name this car on my chest, I'll give you a big pat in the back. You can put it in the comments. And I'm going to show you a clip here really quick because I have a question to ask you. And a quick question for you on Sunday Slot Car Fun. I own this car. It's, for those of you not familiar with the car, it's a 300ZX-Z, better known as a Fairlady or a Z31, or for you in the UK and Australia, a Z31. It has been restored inside and out, interior-wise and everything. But one of the things that I'm noticing, you can see how clean this car is inside. And I don't drive it daily. It is not a daily driver. I take it to car shows and rallies and maybe autocross one day. But my question is, before I bore you too much with my beautiful old sports car I've owned since 1998, I'm the second owner. And yes, it runs very well. Is this something you'd like to see in a slot car? I'm not sure. I know George Turner could do this, but I might have a go at it. And I may make a slot car, 1/32 scale, of the Z. And I just was curious if any of you would be interested in a car. And if you do, I'd love to see your comments. So give me a comment on that, because I'm trying to come up with different car bodies that aren't Formula One. Even though I've had that car for a while, but I've been thinking about turning it into a slot car. Is that something you'd like to see? If you'd like to see that, put it in the comments down below. Tell me what you think, because I would like to eventually collect all the cars I ever owned, which is quite a few cars, but I have a lot of them. There's an MGB in there. They're the lowest 25. I'm just kidding. I even have my Fiat 850 OTS Coupe and my Bug Eye Sprite, so I'm trying to assemble all the cars I once owned. But, you know, the Z is not something that's on the market, and I could offer it if there's an interest. So I believe that I covered everything else in the show that I wanted to talk about today. I got to go back to my other glasses. Ask about the Z. I did that. We talked about Steve Neill Speaks. What a title. Oh. And how could I forget this? Because I didn't have my glasses on. Thank you. Thank you all so very, very much. John Carpenter used to say that all the time on the set. Last time I heard him say it was on the set of The Thing. That's right, I worked on The Thing too. But I digress. Thank you very much. I can't believe how many subscribers I have. I should be at about 4,000 by the end of the day. Last week's Slot Car Fun went from being 100 views on Saturday to today, almost 1,500. Wow, thank you. And thank you for all the likes. And don't forget to like the videos if you enjoy the video. Just thank you. And thank you for all the kind comments. And thank you for the emails. I mean, you guys are really kind. But you're very inspiring too. And you inspire me to go to my studio every day and make really cool stuff. And you tell me I inspire you. So you know what? We're doing something pretty good for the world. We're making it a better place. And no matter what our belief system or our politics, we all seem to come together under the, well, in air aviation we say under the wing. What do you say under the car? Well, we do crawl under them sometimes. Oh, under the car. But you know, you guys are terrific. I love you a whole bunch. And we're going to end the show with running a car that is kind of special to me. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Anyway, see you next Sunday. This car right here is a monogram Offenhauser midget kit that was offered years ago, and I found one on eBay. And what I did was get a frame from Pendle, the tires from Pendle, the long can motor from Pendle. I got the inserts from Pendle. The body I sculpted, but the head is a 1/24 scale model I got from Immense Miniatures. Thank you, Mark. And I've slowly but surely broken much of the plastic parts, which I'm about to replace with brass, or perhaps piano wire, as John Warren suggested. I think it was John Warren I suggested I use. We'll see how I do with that. But it's a beautiful car. My dad used to race these. I was around the track a whole bunch during the day when these were being raced a great deal, and grew up around these cars. And so I always wanted to get one and convert it into a slot car. This is 1/24 scale. We're going to take it for a short hop around the track. I could just run this car all day. It's just so beautiful, and it runs so well. And I'm going to get to that hairpin without drifting so much I get stuck on the bumper on the border. I did it again. I swear, I'm going to get through there smooth and nice as can be. And that's the thing about slot cars. They're not that easy as people seem to think. You know, it takes a lot of finesse to get them to do exactly what you want them to do. Like, not do that. Now I'm going to get through this. Almost. One more time. Oh, God. This is how I get to have some slot track time. Just showing off to you guys. Or at least, no. All right, well, that's enough of that. This car is just terrific. I would love to build another one. I'm thinking about doing it, and we'll see what happens up the road. Before I leave, then there's this Osterio Dream Slot, which I haven't played with much because I've been so busy, and there's a problem with the body catching back here, which I need to address, but this thing is fabulous. And the tires are really dirty. Really dirty. I should clean them. But it's so quiet. That hairpin is really annoying. This is a really cool car. I really like this car a lot. You should see it inside. I have shown it in the past, but it's really well made. And it's got that type of drop-away slot. And it's very flexible, and I really love the car a lot. So, like I said earlier, I'll see you next Sunday.